Hello, my name is Jean-Marc, and today I'll be talking about my favorite thing that happened in PAX. So I was walking around PAX and I got to this booth and I noticed a Blu-ray there. You don't really see Blu-rays whenever you go into a booth at PAX. You normally see, pamphlets, and you see like games there. Sometimes board games are selling, and yeah. So I found that weird, and me and my wife were looking at that, and then I met a guy named Austin who was there, and he was showing off his game Mystic Origins, and he was talking about how he was going to turn into a game called Mystic Searches. And right now Mystic Origins was like the pre-game that he was having, and it's a game in the Nintendo. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's great, it's an actual Nintendo cartridge. Well, he talked about how whenever he was a kid, he found out that he wanted to make a game. Him and his friend tried to make one. They sent all of that information they put together to Nintendo. Nintendo sent them a letter back that said, don't do drugs, but they didn't make the game for them. Then he grew up, he got into kind of making games, but also into filming. And so he found stuff he made as a kid where he can make a game, and he decided to make a film about him making a game. At first he wanted to make it for an iPhone, but then he decided to make it to a Nintendo cartridge. And so their first game they were kind of sharing and showing at PAX was, yes, Mystic Origins. But what he was mainly showing off was this NES maker, which blew me away. And this NES maker, no any code at all. This thing they made for themselves to make kind of the development of their game easier. They kind of stumbled upon it, and yeah, you could go on their Kickstarter right now. You could go look into it, and they'll even give you a blank cartridge to kind of put your own game in. And I was like, this is cool. He actually met the guys in the booth next to them and made their game right in front of us and said, click, clack, click, press play, and he was playing their game. It was mind-blowing. Whew. And then he showed off the DVD, which is called The New 8-Bit Heroes, which goes through that story in way more detail about them trying to make a video game and what that process was like. And there's a lot of extra features on here that they talked about too. Meeting them was cool. I got to talk to both guys. I don't remember the second guy's name, but meeting them was great. And it kind of felt like I was at a film festival talking to them and talking about their process of, them making the film and everything. And they were going to be showing it at PAX that night, but we didn't want to be up too late because I'm too old now. And if I had a hotel in San Antonio, I would have stayed. But, I was so exhausted at 6 o'clock from getting up at 6:30 in the morning. We just had to leave, but it was so cool. I'm so glad I have the Blu-ray and I can just watch it whenever I want. And I'm so glad they have this Kickstarter campaign, and I'm really interested in actually getting, all that stuff and possibly making my own video game. And it's so intuitive and easy to make a game. A Nintendo original NES Nintendo cartridge, and the only thing you have to buy is more cartridges and make your own cover art and everything. And it just blew me away. They were really nice guys, and I really enjoyed their cause and everything. So please check them out. They're really cool, and that was my favorite thing at PAX 2018.